En este vídeo os explico el condicional. Vale, hay dos tiempos. Hay el condicional simple, como yo lo diría a mi padre, I would say it to my father. Y el condicional compuesto, que lo vemos al final, que es yo lo habría dicho a mi padre. I would have said it to my father. Okay, let's start with the condicional simple. Primero unos ejemplos. ¿Por qué nunca nos esperaría antes de entrar? Why wouldn't he never wait to us before going in? Yo, en tu lugar, me compraría un despertador. If I were you, I would buy an alarm clock. Yo creo que deberías fumar menos. I think you should smoke less. Okay, so how do you form this tense, the conditional? It's quite easy because it's similar to the future tense we already saw. So we start also from the infinitive, okay, and the endings are the same for all kind of verbs. And they're quite easy. It's always ia, ias, ia, íamos, íais, ían. So the stress is always on the E. So, and you have to put an accent on it, okay? So, for example, I would talk to your father is yo hablaría con tu padre, hablaría. Tú hablarías, él hablaría, nosotros hablaríamos, vosotros hablaríais, ellos hablarían. Okay, so cuidado con la énfasis. Los pronombres, where do you put the pronouns? As in the future tense, you put them always before the verb. There is no choice. So you say, porque nunca nos esperaría, me compraría, or me esperarías delante del cine, ¿no? You would wait before the cinema, isn't it? ¿Te gustaría venir con nosotros? Okay, so that's quite easy. There are 10 irregular forms, but they are the same as the future tense. So we already saw them before. So they have an irregular stem, but the ending is regular. So that are the endings we already saw. So tener, I hope you remember, tener was tendré, we saw in the future tense, tendré, I will have, tendría, I would have. No tendría tiempo can be I would not have time. But as you see, the ending is the same for the third person. So it depends the context, but it could mean, for example, here, he wouldn't have time. He he should work, or that's tendría que, to have to do something. Poner, pondría, I would put some chorizo. Vendría, I also would come alone. Saldría, she would have been on top. She would have, no, she would be the winner. Poder, to be able. Would you be able to live without internet? Saber, we wouldn't know it without WikiLeaks. Querer, to want. Querría reservar, it's quite a common expression because it's quite polite to ask something. Querría reservar, I would like to reserve a table. Hacer, I would do, or here, what would you do if you were president for one day? Decir, ¿Qué dirías al rey? What would you say to king? And haber, as we saw, it's it's the infinitive of I, there are, or there is. So in this case, it's there would be. There would be. I don't know if there's an example. Yeah, habría una relación. There would be a relationship between insomnia and phobia of darkness. We will see haber later on also for el condicional compuesto. Okay, as I said, the same exceptions of the future tense. Okay, when do you use the conditional? Some cases. First, of course, in a conditional sentence like me compraría una casa con piscina si tuviera más dinero. Con una frase con si. If. For example, this one, I would buy, or I would buy a house with, how do you say it in English? I can't remember. If I had more money. Okay. To give advice also, or to make suggestions. If I were you, I would do this. In this case, I wouldn't put that dress. To make an assumption or supposition, we also saw that when we were talking about the future tense, but you can do it also with conditional. Sometimes the meaning is an assumption. For example, no está en clase hoy. ¿Estaría enfermo? Would he be sick? Would he be ill? And, okay, a little bit more difficult perhaps, but it exists. The past future tense. What does it mean? It's the indirect speech. You don't really have to know this by now, but I just mention it. When you say, for example, dice que vendrá en bici. Dice que vendrá en bici means he says that he will come by bicycle. He will come by bicycle, okay? But you could make it as a direct speech in the past. He said he would come by bicycle. Decía que vendría en bici, okay? So that's also one of the uses of the conditional. Okay, for now, we won't make it too difficult, and the normal use is the same, more or less, than in English, okay? Let's end with the conditional compuesto. Condicional compuesto. It's like this: he wouldn't have seen me. And remember that el compuesto normal es como este, pretérito perfecto compuesto que hemos visto ya también. He hasn't seen me, no me ha visto. Okay? Es haber más el participio. Ha visto. But you can put a, as we already saw. You can put it in the future tense, but you can put it also in the conditional. So this would be haber in the conditional and the participio. And then you have sentences like this. No me habría visto, pero no lo creo. He wouldn't have seen me, but I don't believe him. Or, tiene mala cara el pobre, habría mal dormido. He doesn't look well. The poor one, would he have slept badly? Or, yo en tu lugar habría ido al médico hace meses ya. If I were you, I would have been to the doctor months ago already. Okay, so that was the conditional tense.